what was the most significant part about the bowl game for you?
The most significant part would definitely be when we won, of course, because it was a very fun experience and awesome game. So
Okay, Rachel, what do you think is going to be most important about leading up to this coming football season?
I definitely think that we need to go undefeated within our conference. I'd love to see us go to New Orleans and to play at the #1 level. We've done Montgomery 2 years in a row, and I think now we need to step it up and we need to persevere and we need to take it to the #1 spot. And also I want beignets from Cafe du Monde. So.
All right, and as someone who was there as a fan
Yes.
and a visitor to Montgomery,
Yes.
did you see anything in the city of Montgomery or just at the game at all that stood out to you?
I mean, I think it's really great that whenever we were able to come into restaurants, people would be like, oh, are you here for the bowl game? Like, they just kind of knew that we were outsiders, and that was honestly really great on Alabama's part. But going into Montgomery, and we were able to speak with alumni and speak with different types of people who were there, and I think that that was what was truly amazing about it, is we were able to have these connections. I will never forget my first bowl game because of the people that were around us, and Christmas Gnome was there, and he was awesome. And just that whole experience of like getting to know your alumni and getting to know like their parents who are also alumni, that was the best part of the whole thing.
What was Christmas Gnome about?
Christmas Gnome is a Christmas gnome. It was basically an App State Santa Claus who was painted yellow and black, or black and gold, I guess. And they would like hold him up, and this guy who was beside us, who was an alum, he yelled, "Christmas Gnome!" And we brought it back. We brought it back this year.
So, at the game, was there any point like that you specifically remember thinking like, this is a big deal?
Yes. So it was the final field goal of the game by the opposing team, and that was when I saw Shaden Metters go like this and start helicopter running down the field, and it was just truly amazing because at that point I realized that we had won, and there was nothing that could take that moment away from the football team and from App State.
Okay, and do you have any specific moment that you will remember as your absolute favorite that really stands out to you from the whole weekend?
From the whole weekend? Oh goodness, that's a tough one. I think, whenever I got on the Jumbotron, I thought that was like a huge deal because it was my friends beside me, and I saw that, and I was like, oh, heck no. And I like jumped out and like went for it because I wanted to be on the Jumbotron too. But I think my favorite moment was honestly seeing like Shaden Metters like go like this, because in that moment, that's just when I knew that we had won and he had missed the field goal. And in the first game, it was definitely after we had gotten that one little chance, that one opportunity, and we took it and we made it, and just the whole entire stadium went from like biting their fingernails and like on the tiptoes and holding their breath to erupting into this huge, ginormous like cry out for App State. And that was just the best feeling in the world to know that we all had one thing in common, and that was for the football team to win.
And so Rachel and Bailey, what did you all know about App State football before you came to App?
Honestly, I'm not like, understand like when I watch it, but I don't know all the facts about things, like the different players and like stats about football. I'm not very educated on that, but I know who the coach is. And
Who's
some
the
of
coach?
players.
Who's the coach? Scott who?
Satterfield.
There you go. And Rachel?
Coming into App, I didn't know a whole lot about the football program. Like obviously I had former alum tell me, oh, App State's such like a football school, like they beat Michigan, and like I knew like that stuff, but I didn't know the extent of like everything that happens here like on a game day.
So when you would hear people say about Michigan, how do you think that compares to our last two bowl games on the scale of what it does for App?
I mean, I would say that it's kind of similar. Like people from Michigan were obviously like, oh, they're just a small town school, like they're not going to beat us. And I think the other schools kind of thought that as well with the bowl game. Like I think people really underestimate App State football and all App State sports in general, but I definitely think that we're an understatement to the football scale.
Bailey?
And by winning those two bowl games, we definitely got ourselves out there again, like on the headlines. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
not full, like,
There was a-
big headlines,
yeah.
but
Mhm.
more people know about us.
There
So-
was a big push after like the Michigan game and like our 3 national championship titles in 2005, 2006, and 2007. But now there's like a revamp of that program after Jerry Moore.
So, what do y'all think about how that's going to push us into the coming years and what our success now is going to mean for the future?
Yeah, I definitely think that these past 2 games are definitely getting us to the right place that we need to be. We need to show that we're at a higher playing level and a higher intensity level, and also like on a public level, like, you know, we have to have more games on ESPN in order for people to know about us. So I feel like that's very important.
Yeah, and definitely boosting our confidence. And I think we'll definitely like get somewhere with that.
Okay, who's y'all's favorite player?
Okay, well, Jalen Moore is my brother. We're related. My last name is Moore. I don't know. Clifton Duck.
I know.
I just love him so much. Shaden Metters, also love him so much. Gotta give a shout out to my hometown boy, Myquan Stout. I don't know. There's a lot I don't like too, though.
Bailey?
Taylor.
Well, he doesn't play for App State anymore, but I love Malachi Jones. But for right now, oh shoot, I liked Parker Collins.
Okay, so
That's an offensive lineman. That's not bad.
Yeah.
what are y'all, looking back on the whole season, what stands out to you the most? What was your favorite memory or your favorite thing or favorite thing that happened that you saw or experienced from last football season?
Honestly, just the like atmosphere you're in at like the home football games, because like the student section is so hype and it's like the best, like my favorite time of the school year for sure.
I definitely think any game that we'll ever have is uncomparable to the Miami game and to how that started out. Like there was such a
Crazy.
huge like App State pride, like everyone waving their pom poms. Yes, it's absolutely an insane moment that happened, and I hope that we can achieve that again. I mean, 2 of like our bigger games that we had this year were away games that we got to watch on ESPN. So Georgia Southern, that was a really big game, but it was away, and then the Tennessee game was away, and unfortunately, like I was not able to go, but we were there and we were watching and cheering on the whole time, and that was really devastating. But it's okay. Well, we've increased our field goal ratio.
For y'all, what is like your biggest hope for where this program is going to take not only our athletics world and teams, but our school? Like, what can they do? How is it going to carry us into the future of what our school is going to be?
I eventually hope that a lot more of our guys will go into the league, because I know that that is oftentimes like a dream for them. And I mean, they work so hard for that, and I really think that their hard work does go unnoticed a lot. But school-wise, I hope that App State sports in general get a bigger bandwidth. Like, the more money that the football team generates, the larger grants are, the more money that gets poured back into the system. And people don't necessarily understand that, like, football here is a necessary evil if you want to consider it that way. Like, we have to have it. Like, without the football program, I would not get a Pell Grant. And that's just basic fact. Like, you can't hate the thing that pours in the most revenue to your school.
Bailey?
I really hoping like with winning the bowl games and stuff like that in conference, like that will be even moving up in like a different what do you call it, conference.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's the word. But yeah, I'm hoping that App State goes big, like, and can definitely make a difference.
Eventually, we hope to be a Big Ten Power 12 school, but
Anything
get
else
there.
y'all want to say?
I think I like speak for both of us when we say that we love App State and we
Yes.
love being here and cheering on like all of our fans. Look, we don't cheer on our fans, lol, but cheering on the team and stuff. And I'll never forget freshman year, like running onto the field after we had won, and then even whenever the police like told us like you can't run into the field, they came and they stormed the stadium. Like, that's just something I won't ever forget, because they appreciate us as much as we appreciate them. And I feel like at a lot of schools that doesn't necessarily happen, but here, I mean, we're sitting right here where kids every Saturday or Thursday night come and stand and cheer, and I think that that's what's great.
Yeah, we definitely like my college experience would not be the same without App State football, and I've really enjoyed the time that we've had with like our game days and stuff. I wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah, this place is like my second home. App State is my second home, but this place made it even feel more so.
All right, Chelsea, for you, what was so significant? Why do you think the bowl games are so important?
Well, it's obviously great when App wins, and it's just significant because it's just awesome. I don't know, Casey. You gotta stop this.